Okay, so I think we're about at the right time, so I'll make a start. So welcome to Yoga for Core Strength. I recognise a couple of names that we've used with on Monday night, but thank you for those of you going to try us out for the first time. So tonight's class, I'm going to teach it as though assuming some people have never done any yoga before at all. But I'm going to give options, step ups, because some of you have been with me for 2, 3, 4 years. So listen to your body, only go as far as you want to go tonight. And that doesn't necessarily mean as far as you can, just as far as your body feels ready and able. Okay, if at any point my tech cuts out, I am appalling with technology. Most of you are with us regularly and do know that I can't even send an email without problems. If it does cut out, I will be sending the recording up to Patreon and YouTube as well, so you can catch up later. Okay, so when you're ready, coming down onto your mat and slowly supine. Knees bent, feet flat to the floor, roughly hip distance apart. Now, the good thing is this class can be quite challenging, but tonight I'm not going to touch any further than kneeling. I'm not going to do any standing work. We did a lot of that last week. Just going to lie down, kneel up, lie on the side. Not too bad. So coming down to slowly supine when you're ready. Arms resting on the earth beside you. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze. And bringing your awareness into your breath. Taking a few moments to feel the flow of your breath this evening. Is that breath fast or slow? Is your breath deep or shallow? Does your breath feel warm or cool? Do you feel as though you're breathing into the front of the ribs, sides of the rib cage, into the back of the body, down into the abdomen? Becoming aware of where your breath is naturally flowing at the start of your class this evening. Allowing that breath to deepen. Come more fully down into the chest and the abdomen. And as you exhale, on complete release, softening of the whole of the body to let go. Letting go of the breath, letting go of any busyness from your day, letting go of any worries, any distractions, any preconceptions. This is your time and your practice. And nothing outside the room matters till you leave again. And in your own time, when you're ready, slowly starting to roll the back of the head across the mat. With the inhale, taking the chin over towards one shoulder. And with the exhale, rolling the head, take the chin towards the opposite shoulder. And keeping that slow roll going side to side. Working with your breath. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed and drawn down. Feel like there's not enough space if your shoulders are quite high up. Just consciously moving them a little bit further down on your mat, giving yourself the space to roll your head. And when you've rolled the head an even number of times to each side, bring it to rest back in the center. Bring your awareness down, your hips and your knees. And as you exhale, taking both legs over towards the ground on the right hand side. Inhale, draw back up to center. And exhale, taking down towards the ground on the left hand side. And inhale, center. Keeping that flowing side to side. Noticing if one side maybe the range of movement is a little different. Maybe it feels different. But if your shoulders are starting to lift, if you're doing a full roll over, be mindful your body's not quite ready to twist quite that much just yet. Shoulders staying heavy. Doing that spiral down through the ribcage, the core, the hips and the legs. Sticking with this if this is enough for you right now, or if this is where you want to be. Otherwise, in an even number to each side, bring that back to center. Bring the knees up over the hips. Lower legs roughly parallel with the earth. You can bring your arms out at shoulder height. Got a bit of a wall in my way, but if you've got more space than me, you can do that as well, or keep them on side you on the earth. Trying that twisting movement, still with the shoulders down to the earth, but this time keeping your lower legs lifted. Any point you feel that's become a bit too much, bring your feet back down, return to the previous version. Again, even number to each side, or you can stay here or return here if this is where you want to be. Otherwise, stretching the legs up to the sky. I'm going to try that same movement, side to side with legs straight. It might be a bit smaller. So exhale, take the legs over towards one side. Inhale to return to center. Exhale to twist over towards the opposite side. Inhale, center. Keeping that flow going. Again, shoulders staying on the earth. Head stays on the earth. It's a temptation to sort of lift and look. I won't bring the head to the party just yet. And again, completing an even number of movements to each side. Bring that back to center. And drawing the toes down towards you, so you're standing on the ceiling. So hopefully that will bring you a bit of stretch to the back of the calves or the hamstrings. If that's too much stretch, you can take your legs a little bit towards the end of the mat. If you can't feel the stretch, bring them a bit closer towards your head. Still trying for that straight line to the back of the legs. Holding there for a few rounds of breath. If you are sort of known to be hypermobile in the knees, tiny little micro bend in the knees. Just don't quite lock them. Taking a few rounds of breath here. And picturing that breath coming in through the belly button and going out through the lower back. And as it does, drawing the lower back a little bit flatter towards the earth. Anchoring you down. Few more breaths here. you're ready, work with an exhale. We're going to slowly lower both legs down towards the earth. If that feels too strong, you're going to do it with bent knees rather than straight legs. Otherwise, exhale, trying to time the movement with the length of your breath. Both legs come down, and as you inhale, imagine you've got a string through the crown of your head, like a puppet, pulling you up. That's it. Spine nice and long. Exhale. Rolling back down to lying on the earth. And inhale. Lifting both legs to the sky. Holding there for one round of breath if you prefer. But when you're ready, we're going to do that one again a few times. So exhale to lower the legs. Inhale, raising the upper body. Heard this described as a zombie raise. You can use your arms in front of you if that helps. To raise up. Exhale, lowering upper body back down. And inhale, lifting the legs. If the pace I'm going at is not right for you, work to the pace of your breath. I'm not able to really time this to my breath, simply because I'm trying to talk at you all the time. A couple more. I'm going to adjust the angle of the camera very slightly. I think I've got a bit of a tilt going on tonight. See if that's a little bit better. I've got a floor as well, actually. As I say, tech not my thing. I miss the whole using. Okay. Completing your current movement and bringing yourself back to lying on the earth. Legs can be stretched away or knees bent, whatever feels better for you. And taking a few settling rounds of breath. Okay. And then either with legs straight away or with soles feet to the earth in your semi-supine. Bring your arms alongside your body, hovering 2 inches, 10 centimeters, something like that above the earth, hovering a little bit above the earth. And work with the breath. Start with your small pulses with your hands up and down. Breathing nice and deeply. Your awareness in with the breath. Okay, taking your arms out at shoulder height on the earth. Again, just hovering that inch or two above the floor. And little pulses out to the side, palms down for now. Just being mindful, if you had a small ball under your hands, would it stay there? If you're bouncing all over the place, and again, I'm sort of exaggerating this with the camera, but if you're bouncing everywhere, try and focus on bouncing in one spot, around shoulder. And turning the hands, the palms are up. Continue a little bounce. Seeing how that changes the movement and sensations internally for you. And then taking the arms up behind you, up overhead, and shuffle down just slightly on my mat. And doing a little bounce An inch or two above the floor, above your head. Taking that length under the arm along the side of the ribs. Taking a few breaths there. And when you're ready, bring both knees in towards your chest, one hand to each knee, and gentle spinal rocking side to side to release out. And in your own time, giving yourself a swing, a sway, or a push-up to come up to seated. Into any comfortable seated position, that can be legs crossed, legs straight ahead. You can come to kneeling if you prefer. Spine nice and long. And when you're ready, bring your chin down towards your chest. Feeling the length come into the back of the neck. Taking a few breaths here. Bring your right ear, your right ear towards your right shoulder. Try not to lift the shoulder up, keeping the shoulder relaxed down. Hopefully you'll feel a stretch to the left side of your neck. Holding there for a few rounds of breath. Rolling the head, chin towards the chest, and then the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Again, just consciously relaxing the shoulder down, away from the ear. And feeling the stretch coming through the right side of the neck. Taking a few breaths there. And roll your head back to center, and bring your gaze back forward, back to where you're comfortable. Bring your awareness into your wrists. And starting to circle through your wrists. It does not matter if both wrists are going the same way, if they're both going in or out. I'm going to circle it away in a second. Just letting go of any clicks, any tightness. Noticing if either wrist got any issues tonight. Now I've got a little bit of work in everyone's favourite pose and plank coming up. I will give you options for anyone whose wrists are not too feeling. And changing direction, circling the other way. Fantastic. And coming round to all fours for cat and cow. The knees roughly hip distance apart. Hands roughly shoulder apart under your shoulders. If that's too strong on your wrists, if you've got your blanket, you can always use that under the heels of your hands to lift them up. You can bring your hands a bit further forward with your shoulders to take some of the weight out. Or you can do this from forearms instead. Any issues with knees at all, and especially if you've got a hard floor like mine, put a little fold in your mat, protect your knees. So, we can use your blanket again instead of talking about cat and cow if you're familiar, starting when you're ready. Otherwise, with your exhale, starting to tuck the tailbone under, allowing the back to arch up, feeling the shoulder blades widen, and finding the neck and the head coming heavy, and the gaze coming through towards the knees. When you're ready, inhale. Gaze coming through and forward. Shoulder blades run towards each other. Chest come down, the abdomen coming down. And last of all, the tailbone lifts. Keeping that movement going from one end of the spine to the other. Feeling that movement like a wave flowing through your spine. Each vertebra moving separately from the one either side of it. Completing an even number of movements in each direction. And come back to neutral, flat back position. I think I should have mentioned before, just because there's some people in here who are not in my usual class, just have a quick check down, look towards your elbows. If your elbows are naturally facing forward, as mine do, put a little bend so they face towards each other. All that is a little bit of hypermobility in your elbows. It's very, very common. But if you lock your elbows, you're not going to build any strength in the upper arm and shoulders, and that's where we'd quite like to gain strength. I've never had anyone come to my class and say, I'd like to build more muscly elbows, please, Amy. So, now we'll tackle muscly elbows. We're going to try a fire hydrant pose, a version of tabletop. So from here, with your bent knee, as you inhale, lifting out towards the side, opening the hip, and as you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, opposite side, lift the knee, open the hip, and exhale, lower down. Keeping that going side to side. Remember, if this puts more pressure on the wrists than you'd like, come down to forearms, or step the hands further out. Make the toes work for you. Maybe your hip lift is a little bit small. Maybe that one side's happier than the other. Simply getting to know your body. Don't worry about judging it or trying to push it further. It feels happy to go. Again, even number of movements to each side. Then coming back, you just see if you feel like you've ended up in the stance a bit long, a bit short, your knees are very close together. I'm just going to take the tuck out of my mat. You may remember a class I did in the summer where my mat slid out from under me in a couple of poses. So we're going to work to lift from cat to beast. There's a lot going on here that I'm not sure is in a biology book, but we'll roll with it. So turn your toes under. When you're ready, on an inhale, lifting your knees from the mat, become roughly parallel with the floor. Exhale, lower the knees back down. Keep that going. So inhale, lift, shins come roughly parallel to the floor. And exhale, lower. Your lift is only maybe 3 inches at most. It's quite handy for me to have the camera there so I can see if I'm lifting too much. But if you don't, look down between your knee and your foot and see. Can you see along your shin to your foot? That's what most commonly happens, is people end up in sort of a half dog. See if you can get that little lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If that's going okay for you, we're going to try and extend that movement. If this is a new movement for you, stay with this version. Otherwise, we're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, slide one foot out. Inhale, slide the other foot out. Exhale, back into beast. Inhale into beast. And exhale, lower down. So, see how that one goes if that's okay for you. Otherwise, just stick with the lift and lower. Every version you're working with, try to keep the hips as stable as you can. You notice it more when it doesn't work and you end up sort of rocking as you step in and out. Roll the core, belly button towards the spine. Use that strength to try and help control your movement. And make this your last one. Stretching the feet away from you again on the mat. Pulling the bottom back towards the heels, either keeping the arms extended, or bring them alongside you. Either child's pose, or pose of devotion. Everyone feels better for you. I'm just going to be seated because my face is down towards the mat. You cannot hear a word I say. Taking a few moments of rest in child's pose or pose of devotion. Allowing your breath to settle. Allowing your body to start to settle. And gently come back up to all fours. And this time taking the knees a little bit further away behind you. You've got quite a long stance now. Okay, it's like a mini plank. Again, you can have those same variations with your wrists. Take your hands a bit further forward, come onto your forearms. Otherwise, turning the toes under, and we're going to slowly lift to a full plank and then slowly lower back down. Inhale, lift the knees, come to plank. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Keep that one going to your pace. If that is not right for you, work from your kneeling position. Little bend of the elbows to lower and come back up. So instead of doing your plank, you're working with that little sort of mini press up, and it takes the weight into a different place. So it's nice and controlled. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Trying to work both knees to lift and lower at the same speed. Well done. Make this your last one. Lower back down. Pull back to kneeling for a moment. Give your wrist a little circle. I'm going to turn around simply because of where my furniture is in the room. It becomes a little bit easier to do this next bit. This way around. I'm going to turn around for a different change of scenery. Feel free. Okay. So we're going to try from our full plank. I will come and give you a version from kneeling as well afterwards. I'm going to try a little hop in and out. You can see I'm looking and trying to look at if this wood behind me is going to get in my way, but fingers crossed. So, lift into your full plank. Jumping both legs out. Either side of your mat. Jumping both legs back to plank. Okay, so I'm trying to keep as close to a plank as I can. Go up to a dog. This is your easier version. Hop out and in from dog. But ideally, I'd like as many of you as feels okay to work this version from plank. Keep the hips nice and low. Keep the weight forward over the wrists. Hop out. Hop in. If you want a break at any point, bring your knees down to your mat. Take a few moments, give your wrists a circle. We'll come to the dog version, okay? If you're not quite sure which one's right for you, do one from plank, one from dog. One from plank, one from dog. We'll do 3 of one and 3 of the other. Mix it up. If the last one we're going to do sort of, we'll wait through the wrists for a while. Make this your last one. Bring both knees down, coming back, give those wrists one more circle, well done. Release out and it feels right for you. So that could be fist, that could be interlacing the hands, stretching away. Maybe we'll open the chest and the shoulders. See where your body wants to move. Okay. And come on to the forearm now. Bring your forearm down towards the mat. I'm going to lie on your side. Okay, so I've got my knees both stacked above each other, and my feet are almost directly behind my knees. If you've got your legs straight away, you want to balance. Well, you might be better than me at balancing. My face is because most of my students know standing up is presents a challenge. But finding your balance with your hip down to the earth, then just stacking your other hand either on the top, or you can reach up towards the sky, if it feels better for you. I'm just going to work to lift this bottom hip. I have seen some people prefer to have their hand wrapped around their rib, but I think there's the temptation to try and almost pull yourself up and hurt your shoulder. So just be cautious if you do want to have that wrap pose. When you're ready, from your side pose, inhale, lift the hips as you can. Exhale, lower down. Keep that one going. If you find you need to adjust, I found my stance a bit longer. Bring your hand to start directly under your shoulder. Try again. Inhale, lift the hip. And exhale, lower down. Deep breath. And as you do your lift, trying to lift out of your shoulder as well. It's very easy to try and sink down. We can get some sort of pain in the shoulder and the neck. Create as much space as you can, elbow, shoulder, ear, and then completing your lift. Okay, extension on this for those that would like it. From your side plank, lift the hip, stretch the top foot out and away, draw a little circle one way, little circle the other way, bend the knee, foot back in, and lower the hip. If that's not where you want to be, stick with just lift and lower. We're going to do this for another minute or so. Inhale, lift the leg, straighten away, circle the knee direction, bend back, lower. Nearly there on this side. Making this your last one. And lowering back down. And coming over onto the opposite side. So for most of you, I'm just rolling over. And I'm going to come the other way around on my mat, so I'm still facing you. I have very reflective windows behind me, but not quite enough to be able to see anything. So finding the side plank position, we're just going to start that lift and lower of the hip. And when you're ready, I should have said before actually, if you are really wobbly in this one, you can bring your fingers into sort of a little cage or a tripod on the mat in front of you and lift and lower from there, rather than having the arms stacked on top, up to the sky or wrapped around the ribs. When you're ready, start on your lift and lowers on this side. And so that's going on okay. Starting to add in that top leg. So lifting up, then lift the top leg, straighten away. Circle in one direction, circle in the other. Bend the knee back in. And finally lower down. Think about each step of the movement, one after the other. Working whichever version is best for you right now. Sorry, thought I was going to sneeze there. And make this your last one. And coming back down, rolling over to the back. Bring both knees in towards the chest. And gentle spinal rocking from side to release. And then stretching the arms out at shoulder height or wherever they're comfortable. Bring both knees in towards your chest. I'd like to imagine that your toes, your big toes, are now glued together. The rest of this next little flow, your toes are going to stay stuck together. Open the knees out, nice and wide over the chest. And then stretching the legs away, still with the big toes. So if you view from above, this is kind of a diamond shape, toes together, knees wide, up to the pelvis. Closing the knees as you exhale. Bring the knees back up to your chest. Inhale, knees open. And the legs move away. Exhale, knees close. And come back to your chest. It's kind of a swimming movement. Keeping that one going. Breathing nice and deeply. And completing your current movement, bring your knees into your chest. One hand to each knee and giving yourself a little rock and roll, try and come up to seated. So rocking along the spine a few times and rocking up to sit. So I'm going to stay sitting diagonal to you actually, so to make it a little bit easier to see. So spine nice and long. Knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Take a couple of rounds of breath. Feeling the grounding through your sit bones to the earth. Got stability beneath you. Bring your hand to your chest in prayer. Relaxing the shoulders down. Try and keep the spine nice and long. With each exhale, let go lean back a tiny bit. With your inhale, come forward a little bit. Not quite as much as you lean back on the next exhale. Inhale, drawing back up. Exhaling, leaning a little further back. Inhale, draw slightly back up. Exhale, lean a little further back. Inhale, further back. Gradually, Coming out of that full upright. 5, 10, 15 degrees. Quite a nice rocking movement, working with the breath. My favourite sayings in yoga: all movement is a form of meditation. But even the movements that are very physical, require a lot of concentration, taking you out of your day-to-day, bringing you to focus on your practice, your body is doing, what your mind and your breath are doing. You find it very hard to sit still and close your eyes and meditate that way? Meditate through movement. Coming towards your full range of movement. And the next time you lean back, I'm going to ask you to hold it for 3 rounds of breath. So leaning back to whatever feels right for you. And breathing nice and deep. On the 3rd round of breath, inhale, draw back up. Take a couple of rounds of breath there to steady, to stabilize. And when you're ready, we're going to do that again. See if you can go just a little bit further this time. Exhale, draw back. 3 nice deep rounds of breath. Still with the feet to the floor. Only your core strength is your counterbalance. And after 3 breaths, on an inhale, draw back up. Take a few moments, take a few breaths. Final time. So go back one more time. This time you're really going to push it to where you think your body can go. You haven't chosen to go quite yet. So lean back, the place that gives you the jelly wobbles in your core. Find that point, lengthen the crown of the head, the tailbone, keep the back nice and long. And 3 nice deep breaths there. And when you're ready on inhale, drawing back up. Bring the soles of the feet towards each other. Hands either to hold onto the feet, the ankles, the knees. And as you exhale, round the back. Drawing forward. Bring the head down towards the feet. And that is a direction of travel. That is not everyone's body will get their head to their feet. Most people's bodies do not do that past the age of about 8. So take a few breaths wherever you've come to. You can also make fists with your hands. Stack your head on your fist if that helps. And on inhale, slowly raising back up. Stretching both legs out in front of you. Bring your hands to the ground behind you. And gently rolling the legs side to side. Drawing back up, spine nice and long. And stepping the left foot over the top of the right leg. If that feels too much, bring it to the inside of the right leg instead. Sweeping the right arm through to the inside of the left leg. So I lose my left and right, get myself tied in knots. And then taking the left arm, opening wide behind you. Taking your gaze to follow that arm. Coming into a full twist. Lord of the Fishes pose. Take a few breaths here. Inhale. Bring that arm back to center. Take a moment, take a breath. Yep, 2 more times to this side. So when you're ready, exhale, swing the left arm around behind you. Open the chest. Twist. Take a few breaths. Really think about that twist going through the abdomen, the rib cage, the chest, eyelids and the head. Every part has a roll to in this twist. Inhale, coming back to center. In case I wasn't clear, you are holding that for a few breaths, not holding your breath while you're in this twist. If you're starting to feel lightheaded, keep breathing, please. And when you're ready, final time. Exhale, sweeping round. Coming into your twist, looking on your shoulder, the wall, the garden, the sofa, whatever you have behind you. Taking a few breaths. And inhale, back to center. Stepping out there, go over the top, stretching away. Bending in on the right leg this time. Then either bring it to rest on the inside or the outside of the left leg. Left arm sweeping through. The outside, inside of the left elbow. To the outside of the right knee. Hopefully that makes some sense. And when you're ready, exhale. Turn the right arm round behind you. Twisting through. Stomach, ribcage, shoulders, head and neck. Looking over the shoulder behind you. Take a few breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Take your moment, taking a breath, 2 more to this side. Exhale, sweeping around once more. Come back to lower fishes from your side. Inhale, back to center. And whenever you're ready for final time. Exhale, sweeping the arm around. Twisting, hips, stomach, ribcage, shoulders, neck and head. Looking on your shoulder to whatever is behind you. Taking a few breaths. And inhale. Return to center. Okay, we've got a couple of releasing stretches still on the mat. We'll go into a relaxation. If you've got any jumpers, any socks, anything like that you'd like to put on now, just take a moment to do it. I'm putting your blanket next to you on the mat. Okay, don't put it on just yet. So we've got another 2 stretches and then each your time. If you do want to also turn on any lights, if it's quite bright overhead, my room would not be where I choose to relax, but if I turn down my lights to the dark, you'll be guessing at what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep them on. So coming down onto your mat whenever you're ready. Knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Lifting your right foot from the earth. Crossing the right ankle over the front of the left leg. Lifting the left foot from the earth. And reach your hands through the hole behind the left calf. Outside the left thigh. I didn't mean calf, calf's down there on the thigh. Or if that's not going to be possible for you, you can let your arms rest on the earth and have the legs unsupported. If you have hold of the left leg, drawing the left knee in towards your chest, and hopefully you'll start to feel a little bit of a stretch For most people, this comes in through the right hip, right glute, right thigh. Just being aware of where you feel it. Softening the shoulders down to the earth. And taking a few rounds of breath. Closing your eyes if that's comfortable. Bringing your awareness back into your breath. Each breath starting to deepen. And with an exhale, releasing the leg, bring the left foot down to the ground, bring the right foot down to the ground, and changing sides. So the left foot now crossing over the front of the left thigh, lifting the right foot from the ground, hands over come around the back of the thigh, drawing in to come around the front of the shin, outside the thigh, or keeping them resting on the earth. And in your own time, gently drawing the knee in towards the chest, squeezing in there, taking a few rounds of breath, shoulders soft, lower back down towards the earth, breathing into the back of the body. And with an exhale, right foot coming back down to the earth, left foot coming down to the earth, return to semi-supine. Bring the awareness down, the very center of your core, the pelvis. Run the navel towards the spine, gently press the lower back down into the mat. And then with an exhale, rolling on the tailbone, taking the tailbone down towards the earth. Letting the belly start to lift away, maybe even some hollow coming into the lower back, like a little bridge is forming between the belly button and your tailbone. Inhale, tailbone lifts to the sky, lower back presses down, feeling the sort of stomach and the pelvis follows out. And exhale. Stomach, pelvis start to lift, tailbone comes down, and the lower back hollows. Keeping that little wave-like rocking motion going for the next few rounds of breath. Like a tiny version of cat and cow. And when you feel ready, letting go of that movement and readying yourself for relaxation. So you may want to stay in this position. You might first stretch your legs away along the earth. You might want to roll over onto your side or onto your front. Or you may prefer to sit upright with your back leaning against a wall. Find whatever position is right for you, where your chest can be open and breathing deeply. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Putting on your blanket. Making yourself comfortable on the earth. Adjusting your body in any way that feels right for you. Allowing yourself to take a few deep breaths. Inhale. That new breath filling you, flooding through you. Bring with it release, energy, and a new beginning. Exhale. Breathing out. Letting go of effort. Letting go of distractions. Letting go of worries. There is only this moment and this breath. Allowing your mind and your body these next few moments without critique, judgment or busyness. You are exactly where you need to be. There is nowhere else you should go. Nothing else you should be doing. You are safe, secure, peaceful. Each inhale, picturing tendrils of air flowing into you, spiraling down into your lungs, and radiating that energy throughout your entire body. Each exhale, picturing that spent breath flowing through the back of your body, back of your head, shoulders, hips, heels, anywhere that's in contact with the earth. That exhale like roots, traveling down into the ground, connecting with the earth around you, giving you stability, connection, peace with the whole world. Inhale, light, connection, and spaciousness. Exhale, connection, grounding, stability. Each breath connecting you with the whole world around you. You are part of the planet, part of a greater community, part of a greater energy. Feeling that connection with every breath. Resting here still, quiet, and safe, till you hear my voice again. Very slowly suck your awareness back once more. Take a moment to scan through your body from head to toe. Seeing how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. Staying here longer, as long as you need, if that's right for you right now. Otherwise, in your own time, starting to bring some movement back to the body once more. Maybe to your fingers and toes. Maybe rolling the head. Maybe stretching out. Curling up. Moving in any way that feels right for you. Gradually making those movements a little bit bigger. Guided by what feels right. And then in your own time, rolling over onto your right hand side. Allowing your eyes to reopen. And gently bring yourself back up, seated. Bring your hands together at your chest and prayer to close. I'm going today with peace, compassion, contentment. Namaste.